Hey, what's up, people? Pizowell here, and today I want to talk to you guys about 1981's EVILSPEAK, starring Clint Howard. Now, this is partially going to be a review of the movie, as well as a review of this Blu-ray release from Scream Factory. And in EVILSPEAK, Clint Howard plays Cooper Smith, a student at a very prestigious military academy. But unlike most of the students there, his family's not very wealthy. As a matter of fact, his family have passed away very tragically in an automobile accident. He's kind of a loner. He's an oddball. He's not a great athlete. And because of all of these things, he is picked on unmercifully by pretty much everybody on campus, the students and the faculty. Well, one day while cleaning in the labyrinthian catacombs beneath the school chapel, he discovers a satanic science lab in which all of the paraphernalia needed to summon the spirit of a 16th century satanic priest is housed so that he can get bloody retribution against the people who've picked on him. And he does, in a very Clint Howard style fashion. And by that I mean in a very, very awesome fashion. And even though EVILSPEAK was released in 1981, the movie feels a lot more like a 70s style horror movie, a lot more gothic looking and feeling. And this comes primarily from the labyrinthian catacombs beneath the school chapel. And I'm not exaggerating when I use words like catacombs and labyrinthian, because this area, this cellar, is so immense that it houses not just the satanic science lab, but behind a curtain, not even a door, behind a curtain, the actual crypt of the 16th century satanic priest is down there. So clearly nobody has ever explored this cellar, and the school custodian actually lives down there. But in all of the history of this prestigious military academy, no one's ever explored this corner of the cellar, the satanic corner of the cellar. Also, did I mention that the 16th century satanic priest is actually played by Richard Mall, Bull from Night Court. Great casting. And the first 2/3 of EVILSPEAK pretty much play out like kind of like Carrie, but instead of Carrie, you've got Clint Howard, and he's just getting bullied and picked on pretty much mercilessly. He stumbles upon all this satanic stuff. He actually uses a computer to research Satan in this movie, which actually may be the very first instance of a computer being used in film. Quite possibly. It's certainly the very first instance of instant messaging being used on film. And that instant messaging takes place between Clint Howard and Satan. So even though EVILSPEAK is a little derivative, it's definitely ahead of its time in its use of computers, which is pretty cool, in my opinion. The cast in EVILSPEAK is pretty good. I mean, of course, you've got Clint Howard. Clint Howard, in my book, is just, he's a legend. He's an icon. But you've got a really good cast overall in this movie. A lot of really recognizable faces. Luca Brasi from The Godfather is in this movie, and he's actually one of the very few characters in the movie that's actually nice to Clint Howard. But you've got a lot of really recognizable character actors in this film as well. Also, the dad from that 70s show is sort of the main bully, Bubba, in EVILSPEAK. Don Stark is his name. But EVILSPEAK really shines in the third act when Clint Howard is possessed by this 16th century satanic priest, or the devil himself. I'm not sure, but he goes on beast mode when taking out the people who have picked on him. He's Clint Howard being as Clint Howard as you can possibly be. I'm talking about eyes wide, just that look on his face, his hair absolutely out of control, floating around with a sword, chopping off people's heads. And it's thanks to HD, you can clearly see the black cables that are helping him to float around. It's not the power of Satan. It's the power of some poor grip off screen who's holding Clint Howard up as he's floating around, chopping people's heads off. At the same time, you've got all of these boars running around eating people alive, which is really cool. It's all happening inside the chapel, and the place is in flames. People are running around. It's chaos. It's Clint Howard floating around, beheading people. It's wild boar, or not wild boars, but just big pigs, big boar pigs eating people alive. The third act of this movie is absolutely glorious. But now that's not to take away anything from the first two acts of EVILSPEAK. It's a lot of fun. It's really entertaining. The director is wise enough to know that, who his audience is for this kind of movie. So he throws in some very gratuitous nudity for us guys to kind of help, bide the time until we get to that third act. We have some nice practical effects in the film when it comes to the boars eating people alive. There's a couple of nice beheadings in the movie. There's one sequence in which a character has his heart pulled out through his chest that actually looks pretty good. There are some moments where I'm not sure how they created the heads in the movie, but it almost looks like they used some kind of very hard, almost porcelain looking material to hold the heads on, because when they're hit with this sword, and in slow motion, by the way, and in slow motion in high def, you see everything. It's like they don't necessarily cut, they break, and like pieces of them are just flying everywhere off the neck and off the heads and the faces. It just looks really kind of odd. Overall, EVILSPEAK is a really fun, highly entertaining, cheesy, early 80s horror movie starring Clint Howard. And really, I needn't say more. That's all you need to know about EVILSPEAK. It's a very fun, highly entertaining, highly enjoyable, cheesy, early 80s horror movie that stars Clint Howard. This Blu-ray was the first time I'd seen EVILSPEAK in many, many years, and it certainly lived up to my memories of the film. If you've not seen EVILSPEAK, I definitely recommend it. Go out, check it out. It's a lot of fun. It's really entertaining. It's Clint Howard floating around with a sword, chopping people's heads off while boars are running around inside of a church engulfed in flames, eating people alive. Now, that's some good stuff in my book. Now, this Blu-ray from Scream Factory, it's been out for a few years now. It's not a collector's edition or anything like that, but the picture quality and the sound quality on this release are both pretty good. There's no mention of any kind of elaborate restoration or anything like that as far as the picture quality is concerned. It just says new 1080p high definition transfer supervised and approved by Eric Weston, the director. I thought the picture quality was pretty darn good. I'd give it a solid 3.5 out of 5. The audio quality also was quite good. I'd give it a 3.5 or a 4 out of 5. As far as the presentation is concerned, we've got this artwork here for EVILSPEAK on the sleeve. The sleeve is reversible. And on the reverse, we have, I'm not sure, we've got a couple of different posters for EVILSPEAK. Looks like one is from an Asian market and one is from, I believe, a German market. But there you go. As far as extras are concerned, first up we have Satan's Pigs and Severed Heads, the making of EVILSPEAK. It's 27 minutes and 48 seconds in length. That includes interviews with Claude Earl Jones, Haywood Nelson, Richard Mall, Lauren Lester, and Lynn Hancock. Claude Earl Jones discusses how he thought the script for EVILSPEAK was the worst script he'd ever read, but he took the role nevertheless. They discuss how they got cast in EVILSPEAK. They discuss working with Clint Howard. They discuss working with the pigs. They discuss working with the director Eric Weston. Richard Mall discusses his character in the film and some of the other interesting characters he's played over the years. They discuss the fandom for EVILSPEAK and more. Very nice making of for EVILSPEAK. Next up, we have Effects Speak with Alan A. Apone. It's 14 minutes and 37 seconds in length. Mr. Apone discusses how he got into makeup effects and how he got the gig on EVILSPEAK. He discusses specific effects in the film and how they were pulled off and more. Very nice interview with Mr. Apone. We get an interview with Clint Howard, which is 11 minutes and 39 seconds in length. Mr. Howard discusses how he got the role in EVILSPEAK, but questioned whether he should take the role due to the occult aspects of the movie and the violence in the film. He spoke to his father, and his father said, if you don't take the role, somebody else will. So he took the role, and he's never regretted it. Mr. Howard discusses working with the other actors in the film and the pigs. He discusses working with the director. He discusses flying around in what he was told was the same harness that Christopher Reeve used as Superman, and more. Very nice interview with Clint Howard. He's always a very interesting, entertaining interviewee. Next up, we have an interview with Don Stark. It's 10 minutes and 9 seconds in length. Mr. Stark discusses auditioning and getting the role in EVILSPEAK. He discusses working with Clint Howard and the rest of the cast and the director. He discusses the effects used for his death scene. He describes EVILSPEAK as being a great experience and a lot of fun. Very nice interview with Mr. Stark. Next up, we have an interview with Joe Cortese. It's 6 minutes and 55 seconds in length. Mr. Cortese discusses getting the gig in EVILSPEAK. He discusses his death scene in the film and how it was pulled off. He discusses working with the director and the cast. He discusses being amazed at the life of EVILSPEAK and more. Very nice interview with Mr. Cortese. We get a theatrical trailer, and we get a commentary with producer-director Eric Weston, which I have yet to check out. This is a very solid Blu-ray release for EVILSPEAK from the fine folks over at Scream Factory. If you've not seen EVILSPEAK, I definitely recommend it. You may want to look into picking up this Blu-ray from Scream Factory because the picture quality and the sound quality are very good, and you've got some nice extras on this release as well. If you've seen EVILSPEAK, please let me know your thoughts on it down in the comment section below. Let me know what your favorite Clint Howard movie is down in the comment section below as well. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description here and right around here. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. Join the $1 a Month Club and help support my channel on Patreon. Thank you to my current patrons, Kevin Smythe, Orc145626, B-Movie Mike, Robert Sobel, Turi Delamore, Stephen Flanagan, Lori Holt, Mitch Odell, Farron Sutton, Craig Farrand, Jeremiah Lambert, Grindhouse Grotto, Joseph Charlesworth, Chris Earls, Derek Jana, Demon Waffles, Simon Clark, Stone Gassman, Zachary Barton, Mr. Bibby 86, James Welch, Eli Geisler, Jeff Overing, Alan Scott, Kyle McGuire, Jay the Stingray, Lauren Dixon, Travis Davis, Dave Barnes, Jonathan Lundy, Chris Parsons, Chris Gonzalez, Trenton Bowser, and Jason Brattenbach. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.